The distress beacon cut through the silence of deep space like a knife. Jixon had been hauling cargo through the outer rim for 3 years, and he'd learned to ignore most signals. Pirates used them as bait. Scavengers fought over the scraps. But this one was different. It wasn't asking for help. It was screaming. His freighter, the Meridian's Hope, banked hard toward the source. The coordinates led him to a debris field that stretched for kilometers, the shattered remains of what looked like a Vulpinian scout ship. The Fox people rarely ventured this far from their home systems, and seeing one of their vessels torn apart sent a chill down his spine. "Scanning for survivors," his AI chirped. One life sign detected, faint 30 meters off starboard. Jixon didn't hesitate. He suited up, grabbed his rescue kit, and launched himself into the void. The vacuum was unforgiving, but humans had long ago mastered the art of thriving where others couldn't. His magnetic boots clanked against a twisted piece of hull, and there she was. A Vulpinian female, maybe 20 in human years, pinned beneath a collapsed bulkhead. Her russet fur was matted with blood, and one of her triangular ears hung limp, but her amber eyes were open, watching him with a mixture of terror and desperate hope. "Easy," Jixon said through his helmet's external speaker. "I'm getting you out." Her translator device was shattered, but she seemed to understand his tone. He wedged his plasma cutter into the gap and began slicing through the metal. Vulpinians were stronger than humans, faster too, but they weren't built for endurance. Her breathing was shallow, her body shutting down from shock and oxygen deprivation. The bulkhead came free with a groan. Jixon caught her before she drifted away, cradling her against his chest as he jetted back to the airlock. The moment the atmosphere stabilized, he ripped off his helmet and laid her on the medical bay table. "Stay with me," he muttered, running the autodoc scanner over her body. 3 broken ribs, internal bleeding, severe hypothermia. The machine beeped warnings, but Jixon had seen worse. He'd patched up miners who'd been buried for days, smugglers who'd taken laser fire to the gut. Humans didn't give up easily, and he sure as hell wasn't going to let her die on his watch. He worked for hours, stabilizing her vitals, sealing the internal injuries, warming her core temperature degree by degree. When her eyes finally fluttered open again, the twin suns of her homeworld seemed to burn in their depths. "Elsa?" she whispered, her voice hoarse. The translator he'd clipped to her collar kicked in. "My name, Elsa." "Jixon," he replied, offering a tired smile. "Welcome aboard the Hope." That was 3 weeks ago. Elsa refused to leave his side. At first, Jixon thought it was gratitude, maybe even trauma. Vulpinians were a proud species, known for their honor codes and loyalty. Saving her life must have triggered some kind of debt bond, but as the days passed, he realized it was something more. She followed him everywhere. When he worked on the engines, she handed him tools before he asked. When he cooked his tasteless ration packs, she watched with fascination, then began preparing meals from the ship's stores with a skill that made him question everything he knew about food. When he slept, she curled up in the corner of his quarters, her keen ears alert for danger. "You don't have to do this," he told her one evening as they sat in the observation deck watching the stars stream past. "I can drop you off at the next station. Your people will come for you." Elsa's ears flattened against her skull. "No station. No people." Her voice was quiet but firm. "Ship destroyed, crew dead. I am last." Jixon's chest tightened. "I'm sorry. You saved me." She turned to face him, her amber eyes unwavering. "Human pulled me from death. Human fought for me when Universe said no. Why?" He shrugged, uncomfortable with the intensity of her gaze. "It's what we do. Someone needs help, we help." "Vulpinians would calculate survival odds," she said. "Assess value of rescue versus risk. You did not calculate. You acted." "Yeah, well." Jixon rubbed the back of his neck. "Math was never my strong suit." A low rumble emanated from her throat. Laughter, he'd learned. "Humans are strange. Fragile bodies, short lives, yet you burn so bright. You rage against impossible. You refuse to let Universe win." "We're stubborn," he admitted. "I'll give you that." "Not stubborn." Elsa leaned closer, her tail swishing thoughtfully. "Fierce. Humans are fierce in ways others are not. Vulpinians have strength. Synthari have technology. Krill have numbers. But humans have will. Unbreakable will." Over the following days, Jixon began to understand what she meant. A pirate crew tried to board the Hope near the Draxus belt. Most captains would have surrendered, handed over their cargo, hoped to survive. Jixon flooded the docking tube with coolant. vented it to space, and fired the maneuvering thrusters at full burn, while the pirates were still trying to cut through the outer hull. They scattered like insects. Elsa watched from the bridge, her eyes gleaming with something that might have been admiration. See, fierce. They fell into a rhythm. Jixon handled the flying and negotiations. Elsa managed ship systems with an efficiency that bordered on supernatural, her Vulpinian reflexes and senses making her perfect for tracking maintenance issues before they became catastrophic. They worked like two parts of the same machine, anticipating each other's needs, covering each other's weaknesses. One night, as they shared a meal in the galley, Jixon finally asked the question that had been gnawing at him. "Why do you really stay? And don't give me that debt bond nonsense." Elsa set down her fork, her expression unreadable. "Among my people, there is saying, find one who fights when fight is lost. That one worth following into stars." "I didn't fight for you because I'm special," Jixon said. "I did it because it was right." "Exactly," she smiled, sharp teeth glinting. "Most species know when battle is won. Humans fight anyway. You pulled me from Wreckage when I was already dead. You looked at Universe and said no. That is not normal. That is remarkable." Jixon felt his face flush. "So you're staying because I'm... what, interesting? I stay because you remind me what I forgot." Her voice softened. "That survival is not enough. That sometimes most important thing is to care when caring makes no sense. To help when helping is illogical. To be kind in unkind universe." She reached across the table, her clawed hand covering his. "You are good human, Jixon. And if human who saved me can rage against dying of light, then maybe I can too. Maybe we both can." Jixon looked at her, this strange, fierce, loyal creature who'd tumbled into his life from the wreckage, and realized he didn't want her to leave. The hope had felt empty for so long, a prison of metal and silence. Now it felt like home. "All right," he said quietly. "But you're doing the cooking from now on. My ration packs are terrible." Elsa's laugh echoed through the ship, warm and alive. Outside, the stars continued their eternal dance, indifferent to the two souls flying through the void. But inside the Meridian's hope, something new had kindled. A partnership forged in the crucible of survival, bound by the very human refusal to give up. And in the cold vastness of space, that was more than enough.